We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
Welcome to the RedAss Podcast, your home for Aggie sports, barbecue, music, and much more. And now your hosts, Rob White and Roy May.
Howdy, guys. Welcome back to the RedAss Podcast. Today is Thursday, March 12th. It's my little brother's 32nd birthday. Oh, God. And then my niece is turning 1 coming up here in about 4 days. But
you don't feel old at all.
Oh, ancient these days. But if there was one thing that made me feel very, very young, it was last night. So last night I took Alex out to the rodeo, and Creed was playing at the rodeo last night in Houston.
Nice.
And let me tell you something. That was a special show. I've seen Creed before. I saw them last year, or maybe it was September of 24 is when I went and saw them. Excellent show. Amazing. But man, getting to experience that at the rodeo was really, really cool. And I mean, you had an entire arena of people singing. We looked something up. Apparently, this was the largest crowd they had ever performed in front of. Before this, for a headlining show, the biggest crowd they ever had was about 30,000.
That's surprising.
It blew my mind. I was like, there's no way that's true.
I guess they're not counting the Cowboys halftime performance.
Well, see, that was my thought. But even so, this one would be bigger because it's NRG.
Yeah, that's true. Because you figure when they played Cowboy Stadium, it was football set up, not concert set up.
Right. So there were still some seats on the ground. Plus, NRG is just a bigger stadium than Texas Stadium was. In terms
I guess that was Texas Stadium. That wasn't the current Cowboys. It's been that long.
Exactly. Well, anyway, I'm Rob White, fighting Texas Aggie class of 2014.
Yeah, and I'm Roy May, fighting Texas Aggie class 2015. And we have we get to talk about a little of softball we're going to get into. And then we have 4 straight days of beating the hell out of Oklahoma.
Yes.
And that starts tonight in the SEC tournament in Nashville for basketball. Currently sitting like 8-9 seed. If you look at Lenardi's projections, and for the most part, pretty much everybody's got us around the 9 seed. 8-9 seed it's not great, man. I don't like that seed. All 4 1 seeds are bonkers this year. So it's funny. I'll never sit here and openly root against A&M. Obviously to win games.
Right.
But if they were to drop this one and slide into a 10 seed, I got to be honest, it's not going to hurt my feelings.
Wouldn't cry about it too much. I mean, because at this point, you've secured a tournament spot. There's nobody out here saying that you're even close to really being in the bubble, per se. You've done your job on the back end of this little stretch. You won the games you needed to win, and you got a bonus game out of it. So at this point, there's really nothing to be lost in this Oklahoma game tonight. Be nice to win, of course, but at the end of the day, if you get an extra day of rest and a 10 seed and you're not paired with number 1.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, it's really, I don't know that it's necessarily a win-win situation.
Sure.
I mean, you look at it, if you could make a run in the tournament and maybe slide into a 7, that'd be great. Because those are really the two, best case scenarios, I think, is either a 7 or a 10. But I think to get to a 7, you got to win. You got to win 2, if not 3, right?
Yeah, and if I'm being completely intellectually honest, I'm not all that worried about it. I mean, we've already exceeded my expectations for the season because they were 0.
Yeah, we've exceeded every expectation. I think I might have thrown out there that I thought they could make the tournament just because of what Buckyball is, but yeah, that was kind of an unserious projection, quite frankly.
And the thing that really got to me this time around was A&M basketball makes that post about how we were picked to finish 13th and we finished tied for 4th. And everybody's clowning on this, right? Everybody that's non-A&M, all the non-ball knowers that aren't aware of our situation were commenting on this. And me, who normally I don't like to stir the pot anymore on the Twitter machine, I felt the need. I needed to stir just a little bit. Came forward and said, guys, they were picked 13th.
Yeah.
They had 0.0% returning production on this basketball team.
Yeah,
And the guy that came back last time he played was against, I think, Commerce.
dude, we were like probably 7 practices in, and dudes were probably still learning each other's names.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's where this program was. And so to even to be in the talk, and it's again, we use this phrase a lot, recency bias stuff, right? Because we went on such a roll, halfway through the season, we're sitting atop the standings, right?
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, what you're doing is you're moving your expectations, which is fair. But like you said, I think it's important to go back to the beginning of the season and really think about like what were your expectations for this program in year one? Like be totally honest with yourself. And if you thought, getting to the second weekend of the tournament was, people would have called you batshit crazy, quite frankly.
Potentially.
Uh,
Well,
but
mhm.
but to see what he's done, and we talked about it too last time, was we really thought that they needed to win 2 of the next 3, right? That was before Kentucky. So we had Kentucky, LSU, and then we had maybe a tournament game because we needed 2. That's kind of how we looked at it.
Mhm.
But we get the 2, and then you look at other teams all around the bubble, and it's awful, right? Like the
Yeah.
bubble's terrible.
Yeah. Bubble's not very strong this year. That's been the consensus.
Yeah, Luke Evangelist on TechSite said this morning, like, I mean, his suggestion was reduce the field because the bubble is so trash this year. But the combination of winning those 2 games and then what's happened around the bubble, first 4 in, last 4 in, first 4 out kind of stuff. Um, it's secured it. So it literally, it does not matter what happens. I mean, unless we get pantsed by like 60 by OU. I mean,
Which I don't see happening.
that's what it would require, is what I feel like,
Right.
for them to even be all having an argument to leave us out. What's interesting though is I don't know if you saw earlier today, Miami of Ohio, who had a 31 game win streak.
Yep.
Um,
Lost it immediately.
yeah, so they lose in their conference tournament, little Maction for you, and they went from obviously in the tournament they're going to run away with the MAC to now they're like next 4 in or something because now all of a sudden what they say, we heard this on the radio earlier today, so I'm kind of just regurgitating some facts, but they didn't have a single quad 1 game this year, not wins or losses. Like they didn't have a single quad 1 game on their schedule, but now you know what they do have is a quad 4 loss,
Which is not very good.
yeah, in a MAC conference, in the MAC where that's a 1 bid league, bro. So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out with Miami of Ohio. That's so maybe you have a bid stealer. It just depends on what they want to do with kind of that information. And I guess Lenardi, like because it happened, Lenardi went back and updated his bracket real quick just
Yeah.
to reflect that loss.
Yeah. Saw
So
that.
it's interesting. That'll be an interesting watch, just kind of from afar. It's not going to affect us at all.
No.
And it would take 30 bid stealers for us to get kicked out, kind of thing, just because of where our net is. But again, we're in. If you ask me, we're in. Period. Doesn't matter what happens.
They
Uh,
currently have Miami of Ohio last 4 in,
you know,
along with
last,
Texas being in there.
well, and Texas will get a bump because of the logo. They will. And again, it's not just that; it's also what's happening on the bubble. So Texas is benefiting from some teams really stinking it up. Like, was it Indiana? I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one. Um,
Meanwhile, Auburn, if they win,
Yeah, Auburn's an interesting one. If they win, I don't know that's it for them, but if they can get 2 more wins, I could see Auburn sneaking in as the last SEC team.
sure.
But again, we still have to look at possible bid thieves, bid stealers. I mean and it happens every year. And that directly lands on the bubble. When you start getting bid thieves, especially from a conference that was probably going to have 3 in, and then it's not one of those 3.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden this country is going to have 4, and who's going to be on the chopping block because of it. So it'll just be interesting to keep an eye on the tournaments, and this is the kind of stuff that in this day and age you're going to get all the alerts, and we're all going to know what's happening pretty much in real time.
Mhm.
We don't have to track down the information or the knowledge. But so heading into tonight, Texas A&M, Oklahoma tonight. So just kind of some key stuff that I think are really kind of keys to the game is you look at how many turnovers we force a game, where our scoring offense is per game. We're hovering around 90, which is right around top 10 in the country, and averaging 90 points a game. It may have fallen off a little bit off that, but I think that's right. But it's just it's that fast, chaotic pace that we've all grown to love with buckyball. In Oklahoma, obviously they're not going to be um, as fast, I guess is a nice way to put it. And they run a lot of their offense through the key, through their big man.
Well, and as a team, you've beaten twice already.
You have beaten him twice. To beat him a third time, is obviously impressive. Obviously, very hard to do. I mean, it's hard. You understand that in basketball, you're going to play teams twice, and I get that. But
Yeah.
it's tough to do because they've seen everything that you can throw at them at this point after two full games. But my biggest thing is win the turnover battle, right?
Yep.
That's any team, but our team really relies on winning the turnover battle and shooting threes. And Bucky made it really clear, like we need to shoot 33s a game. Like 30 is the benchmark. We have to attempt. He's not saying, he didn't give you he knows what our percentage is as a team. At this point, all of your percentages are set. They like your stats tell you who you are as a team, right? And so that equation equals 30 attempts or more per game. And obviously you want some to fall, right? You can't have a stale night. But then, kind of the immeasurable key to the game for me is just controlling the pace early. If you can control the pace early in the game and make OU play your game, or just try and play catch up, this team, we've seen it kind of yo-yo here and there, but if you can get out to a lead, this team has shown that it can maintain a lead, even if it starts to get a little tight or a little dicey. If they get out in front, they can generally stay out in front. It's when, if they shoot poorly and they turn the ball over, just like, on the opposite side of the fence, right? If you don't shoot well and you turn the ball over, this team is not built to overcome that because we don't have any we always go through the paint. We have a strong post presence. We're scrapping for rebounds. We understand we're going to lose the rebound battle basically every night. It's just how many do we lose that battle by, right? And that's just how we're built. But the one thing that you like, and we can call for the SEC tournament, but really heading into postseason play, and everybody always says it, March is about guard play. If we can continue to get production out of Dominguez and Clements and maybe some Jakari, Pops Isaac, or Pop Isaacs, just switch the S around.
Something.
You love where this team is at mentally, and that's why, man, if they lost tonight, it's a couple extra days off too.
Little breather, reset your legs ahead of the big one, get into the tournament. And of course, we will get into all that once we secure bracketology going into next week, and we'll just kind of break it down. And
gotta wait till Sunday.
Yeah, we'll just keep an eye on where we end up, how everybody else looks. But
I feel like the only problem is we're basically saying it's okay if we lose because we might get a 10 seed, but everybody down in the bottom of the bracket, this is a problem. The bubble and all these teams, can we actually slide to a 10?
I don't know. It's a tough sell. A lot of people have been saying we're probably sitting at a 9 one way or the other. It doesn't really matter.
But for me, you got to win 2 to even think about sliding up to a 7 seed.
Yeah. And I just got to finish up this basketball portion by just acknowledging the fact that, congratulations, Texas, you indeed won your Super Bowl because you've lost 5 of your other 6 to close the season. Nice to know you put up your full effort against us, and we understand what that means. It's important to you.
Yeah, that was interesting. They weren't able to win the OU game. It's quote their biggest rival. Postseason dreams pretty much riding on that game, and they just kind of blew it. They just kind of stepped in it, didn't they?
And then you turn around and lose to Ole Miss and by 10.
Yeah, and in a game where I don't know that it was that close. Ole Miss controlled that game.
Texas made it look interesting by the end, but really, Ole Miss dominated that game.
Yeah, Texas is just such a fascinating case study. When you just not just basketball, but we'll take basketball for instance because you do have a good basketball program.
Sure.
Historically, it's a good basketball program. It's just interesting to know that, Texas recruits well. Obviously, they do. It's Texas. It's the logo, man. They recruit well, and it's interesting to see them kind of putting up with their coaching hires in basketball have been atrocious.
Yeah, they have been for a while.
Yeah, and that's kind of the shocking thing more than anything is
because when was the last time they made the Final Four?
Oh gosh, it's been a while.
Been a hot minute. right?
Yeah.
And a program that does pride themselves. I mean, you build this brand new arena, you bring in all this. I mean, where's the substance inside the building?
Yeah. Yeah. The product isn't matching kind of the devotion and donation to the program, or
Yeah.
the attempt to build structure has literally just been physical structure because the infrastructure, the team, the program itself isn't following suit with all the nice new flashy upgrades,
No.
which is a little bit par for the course for them. That's fair.
Well, it's just par for the modern day too. I mean, just with NIL and everything else, like where are you putting your funds? Where's the focus at? Right now, it's certainly not basketball. It's being pushed towards baseball. It's being pushed towards football because, well, let's face it, football drives the whole damn bus. But they heavily invested in baseball, so you'd expect them to do well.
Texas is a prideful baseball program.
They are.
And they're going to put money into it. So yeah, I mean, maybe that's just where basketball drew the short end of the stick, quite frankly.
Maybe.
Or maybe they got a lot of money in basketball and the coach just can't seem to get it figured out. But seeing some of the clips from his press conferences, it's not surprising they're not successful. Like he just craps all over his players.
Yeah, that does.
Publicly,
historically, that goes great. When
Yeah.
you just blame the players all day.
So it's very endearing to your players just to publicly throw them under the bus.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of players would love to come play for a guy like that. Case in point, one final little nail in the coffin for this basketball segment. Rest in piss, Buzz Williams.
Woof.
Woof, indeed. Was it like the worst season ever in Maryland basketball history, or whatever they said it was?
Well, I'll tell you, I lived up there, for a handful of years.
That's a
And
prideful program right there.
that is a prideful basketball program. It is. Maryland, they're like football, schmutball. They don't care about baseball. But Maryland basketball used to be no joke. And for him to go up there and just absolutely trip over himself, I mean, it's been an abomination. They won what? They won 2 or 3 league games,
If that.
something like that.
I don't
And I got posed this question like a month or so ago, and it was Luke Evangels actually. And he asked, you know, does Buzz even win a conference game? And I said, you know what? Like if you set the over under like 1.5 or 2.5, I might take the over because basketball can be funky and you can trip over yourself to a victory sometimes. And I think I was right because they won 2.
Mm-hmm.
So that man, that goes over like a fart in church, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like Maryland's not going to tolerate that for very long.
No, and
That's
frankly,
where-
they shouldn't.
No, they absolutely shouldn't. And that's where the difference is between our program and Maryland basketball is we historically don't have a ton of support for our basketball program. And it's one of those, if you win, we'll show up kind of things, right?
Always has been, yeah.
We always talk about that, but Maryland's not that way. Maryland loves their basketball. They are in a basketball conference for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So
they played their last game yesterday and a loss to Iowa.
Awesome.
Oof. They finished 12-21, 17th in the Big Ten.
That ain't gonna cut the mustard, homie. It's just more and more like every day you just are thankful that we have Bucky.
That dog ain't gonna hunt.
No, neither. But those turtles are gonna start hunting soon if he doesn't get it turned around.
Yeah, a little faster, maybe. Anything's possible. All right, let's pivot. We wanted to touch briefly on softball. We only just had the little San Marcos showdown in a very abridged format last week, and you get a really good win against Tarleton, and then you don't do jack diddly against Texas State.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna be a long year for softball. The more and more I watch them,
which sucks because
it absolutely sucks. I love softball.
They were so close last year.
Yeah, it's
damn it.
We beat this dead horse, man. You don't have the pitching. You don't have the pitching. You can't win in softball. It seems like Trisha Ford has tried every combination she can to get it to work in the circle, and it's not happening. So I think this season is going to be just a dogfight, straight up. Like they're going to have to find a way to mash their way to victories. That's all it is. They're going to have to produce runs that they're at a high clip in the SEC. Starting off with LSU this weekend, opening up conference.
On the road.
Yeah, on the road. So in Baton Rouge. Last year, LSU finished ninth in conference. We were second. LSU, maybe not necessarily your biggest powerhouse, but opening up SEC play on the road is tough. And yeah, it's the same in baseball and softball. When you go on the road in the SEC, just don't get swept, right?
Mm-hmm.
Find a way to pick up a win. If you can win a series on the road, by all means, that's obviously desirable, but just don't get swept on the road. And then you just win your series at home. Don't get swept on the road. It's that I will say is one thing where softball and baseball are the exact same in this conference.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. There's a very brief touchdown there. Like I said, we just got to see how the ladies pull.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because it feels like LSU is trying to build back to the brand of softball that LSU wants to play and is kind of known for.
Yeah.
And it seems like A&M is slipping off that kind of throne a little bit from where we were last year. So these are two programs maybe colliding right in the middle, and so these are the really important series. If you can get into Baton Rouge and grab a couple, I'll tell you what, and it would change just the projection and the perception of where we're at right now. And can we grind through it on the road? Can we get it done in the circle and get it done to produce enough runs to where whatever output we're getting from the circle is good enough for us? We can make up for it. Yeah. So big series. I'll be watching it. Absolutely. So yeah, it feels like a tone setter.
Yeah, it does feel like a tone setter. Anytime you're getting into conference play, that's when the new season begins, and you can really set a good tone right out the gate if you can find a way to go on the road to Baton Rouge and get it done. Yeah. Pivoting to the baseball. All right.
Yes,
baseball. Doing their job for the most part continually, right? You have there was a little bit of a slow start against Oakland, but you turned around and got it done. Had to pull a doubleheader that day due to the weather, but it's always nice to win the series before Friday concludes, and that's exactly what we did. And then you turn around and ruled them in the last game, just put a nice little stamp on the weekend.
Well, what's funny about that too is like them ruling them, shortens the game, and like they just beat the weather basically.
It barely beat the weather. I was keeping up with it on radar while we were cruising along, and I'm sitting there going, it's going to get close. And they got through it, which was excellent. Yeah. And then you turn around and do to SFA what you've been doing.
Yep. Won their midweek. So again, this goes back to they've done just about everything we've asked them to do other than the UCLA game. That's still where we're at as a program. I think we're seeing improvements in pitching. The pitching has been really good minus UCLA. Right. And I know that you haven't played insane opponents, but you played Mississippi State, you played Arizona State, right? One of those, even though it doesn't count as conference, wins. That's an in-conference opponent. You want to talk about a proud baseball program, Mississippi State.
We didn't play Mississippi State.
Or no, we play Arizona State and
Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech, that's right. Mississippi State was in it, I think.
They were there, as was Tennessee. But
so I just you've played other than Tarleton's, right? So you actually you played that tournament. But now it starts, right? Yeah. Now you're going on the road. Both of them opening up on the road. That's always weird to me when they're both on the road.
That's unusual for us, but
ghost town on West Campus. But you got go on the road to a good Oklahoma team, right?
I mean they're sitting right where we're at. They're 15-2.
Right.
The only two losses they've had have been at home, so keep that in mind. But I mean, they've done their job, right? I mean, they smoked through Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, TCU to start the year, which is impressive. I mean, those are three Big 12 teams that are normally not slouches. So that's a really good little run there. Proceeded to, I mean, the only losses at this point, they lost to Arizona State 15-3 in 7 innings. That was, I think that was at home, but then they turned around and won the second game. They lost a game to Gonzaga, which after smoking through them in the first couple of games. So you got to wonder, is there a pitching depth issue for the weekend over there at Oklahoma? Granted, we haven't really dug too deep into our pitching depth at this stage, but I think it's important to note that's the one area that I'm going to be very curious to see how we do, because the bats have been excellent, but the moment that they go quiet, can you shut them down?
Yeah, the bats are right. You can't say enough about this offense. Like excellent. And it's not just the numbers, right? It's not just the stats, even though the stats are eye popping. But it's like if you're watching the game, right?
Yeah.
If you're watching these games, the at bats look different than they did last year.
They look more reminiscent of the early days. There's a play on words there, but when Early was truly the hitting coach, and
Yeah.
we were very patient and we were very calculated at our approach to the plate. Whereas last season, it felt very chaotic at times. That has not so been the case this season. Even when we've gone down in games, they've been a little bit more calculated, and they've found ways to get back into them if they did trail. But largely, we haven't had those situations.
Well, and last year, I mean, I thought it felt more like it felt chaotic more often than not. Like chaotic
Yeah,
was almost the norm, right?
yeah,
And it was frustrating because again, like you said, earlier in his tenure when he was a hitting coach, those were the at bats we're used to seeing out of Texas A&M.
right,
You know, choosing your pitches wisely, being patient, right? Not just getting up there and hacking to hack.
right.
Uh, but the numbers are great. Caden Sorrell's having a freaking monster year already.
No, he's looking great, and that's going to be another big key as we get into SEC play. Something I think is very important to stress: healthy. We need to
Yes.
stay healthy because I mean, you've shown even when we haven't been at full strength, there's places around this offense to get runs scored, but we desperately need these guys to stay healthy, be on top of their game, and we'll see how the rest of this SEC schedule kind of plays out for it. Because I mean, you're going to take Oklahoma on the road, then you get Georgia at home for your opening series at home. Georgia, maybe not necessarily the same juggernaut offensively as they have been, but they're a solid ball club. I mean, these first about 4 series are all very winnable.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, we're not going up against number 2 Oklahoma. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying we're opening up a team that's, right about around us in the rankings, I believe. I think they're like top 25.
They're 9, number
Oh,
9.
they're 9, excuse me. Yeah,
so
they're 9.
They're
we're
up
like,
there.
we're anywhere from like 17 to 22, depending on which you're 23, depending
Right.
on which.
And I think a lot of that comes back to positioning where we started the season. And I will say Oklahoma absolutely helped themselves out by playing so many highly ranked opponents early and looking pretty good in those games.
Well, and you kind of hit the nail on the head too. Some of this is optics, and those 3 Big 12 teams they played are programs that we expect to be good programs.
Yeah,
So
TCU for certain. Oklahoma State's always in there.
yeah,
Texas Tech has their runs here and there. They have been, like I said, they've been on a bit of a downturn these past couple seasons, but traditionally a better program.
well, and wait until and that's one thing to keep an eye on. In the next couple of years, 2-3 years maybe. What if Cody Campbell gets involved with baseball? That's going to change that program, obviously, right?
Yeah,
So that'll be interesting to watch. How much is he going to continuously spend at Texas Tech, and which sports is he going to focus on? Like, will he just finally one day go, "I'm sick of this program being crap," and just write a check?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, well, see, and I guess that's such a weird dynamic because if you consider what Texas Tech is now in the Big 12, I mean, you have removed what the historic Big 12 as we know it. You've removed Oklahoma, Texas, A&M, Missouri, Nebraska, Colorado, right? That's 6 teams historically that are very competitive athletically. And Texas Tech was always kind of mid-tier. They'd have like, 08 where they were pretty good in football. They'd have like, towards the end of the 2010s when they were getting pretty good at baseball. But they've never really been an established program in that sense. But now that Oklahoma and Texas are out of the way, really their only main competitions, Oklahoma State and TCU, maybe Baylor on occasion, depending on what the sport is. But it's
basketball.
Like, yeah, basketball. I mean, largely, yeah, the Big 12, it's Texas Tech's plate. I mean, it's been served. Take advantage of it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, your juggernaut really is TCU, maybe Arizona State.
Maybe, yeah. Arizona, and you know what? Arizona and Arizona State, both very good baseball programs. We don't talk about enough. I mean, they both won national championships multiple times over.
Yeah.
So excellent programs. But yeah, baseball. Hey, I've got no complaints so far. Until they have something to give me to complain about, I won't complain.
Yeah, and I'm not worried about the rankings either. I don't, if you say we're 22 or 23rd and Oklahoma's 9, again, it's so early in the season. You can justify it, and you can also justify arguing against it. Just because, I mean, yeah, we're sitting here saying it. I mean, TCU is a good program. Do we know if TCU is going to be a good program this year? So, how does that win look in a month, kind of thing? So again, it's so early on, and there's so few data points, quite frankly, because everybody's playing all their non-conference stuff.
Yeah.
So
Looking at TCU's baseball, I mean, yeah, they're 10-6 right now. They're not exactly up to par for what we know. They've been struggling on the road and neutral sites. They've been solid at home, but
well, and my biggest key, and you'll hear this from me because this is my ad nauseum kind of biggest key to this series. Whenever you go on the road, man, your Friday night starter. Your Friday night starter has to put on a show for you.
always.
Because
Yep.
if you can get out of the gates on the road, just everything changes about that. Not to mention, not having to dive into your bullpen and drain depth.
Yeah, if you can go snag that first game, it's so very important to snag that first game, especially on the road because they're going to push because they know they need to win at least one, right? Which will potentially force mistakes. Go out there and take care of your business. Oklahoma's a good squad. I think A&M matches up pretty well with them. Like I said, it's just going to come down to pitching for us. If they can maintain, I like
Yeah,
it.
and it's also almost one of those things where if maybe you don't nick the Friday game, but your Friday starter can go seven full, or 6 2/3, and you're not quite able to pull the game away, but you can at least save your bullpen. So there's a couple different factors to it, but so much is just it is there's so much importance on your Friday night starter and then your bullpen health or availability, excuse me, moving through the weekend. And it's the same at home, but it just going into somebody's house to try and steal that first one it's so big. It truly sets the tone for the weekend. And it would be against a good squad in Oklahoma.
No
And
question.
you know, what does that do for your confidence Saturday, Sunday? And even if Friday's the only one you got one,
You got
right?
it. Yeah,
Don't
you
get
got.
swept on the road when your series at home
Yep, take care of your own business.
and you're hosting because it's the SEC.
Yep. All right. So quick pivot. Staying in baseball for a minute. World Baseball Classic's going on right now, and it's been highly entertaining.
Uh, yeah. Well, I don't even know if it's the baseball that's been entertaining. It's like all the storylines coming out of it,
The
right?
storylines have been great. I mean, the baseball, I mean, at times, I mean, I'll say it's not the highest level of competition. There have been some really cool storylines, though. Watching the fighting that took place in Houston between the Mexico and the U.S. fans, high levels of entertainment there, of
Yeah.
course. But hey, you know what? Give it up for Mexico. Let's just give it up for them real quick. They had every opportunity to stick one to us. Yeah, you lost, but it's so long as we can beat those Italians, we'll be fine. You lost by 8 runs and got eliminated in the round robin deal. What are you doing?
Brutal.
In the meantime, though, this is where things get particularly interesting. Guess who we play in the first round tomorrow at 8 p.m.?
Canada?
We could go 3-0 against Canada.
Oh, that's funny.
And this time in our sport.
That's funny.
I'm telling you, if we just smoke the Canadians out, that would just be chef's kiss. But I will say it's been cool keeping up because traditionally, I feel like this competition, you didn't really see a lot of the top level talent from the United States all the time, right? I mean, that wasn't really the focus of this, but it's becoming slowly the World Cup of baseball.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. When this started, I was kind of like, like when they first started the World Baseball Classic, I was like, this is kind of dumb.
Right, but it's growing. And I like the fact that they do kind of section it out across the world, right? Japan's hosting a bunch of games against certain teams. We're hosting games. And you see this all over. I love that concept. I really do. It's cool because you get to experience a whole different environment. I mean, what we saw out of Chechnya, the guy who, I mean, it was his final game.
The electrician.
Yeah, final game. And he pitched 4 2/3 innings, walks out without having given up a run.
Yeah.
And not only the Chechnyan fans, but the Japanese fans applauded him and supported because let's face it, number one, Japanese baseball fans are some of the best baseball fans in the world, and I will argue that from here to the end.
Best fans.
They're incredible fans.
Yeah.
They are very supportive. They understand. They get it, and I mean that's a moment that he will forever
Remember.
Absolutely. Remember. Yeah.
I mean, it's not perfect, but it's damn near perfect, like going out on top, kind of like that,
Oh yeah. No, like I said, and that works out. I mean, that's just a beautiful, beautiful thing for him. So now we've got ourselves rolling in against Canada. Korea's playing the Dominican Republic. Saturday, you have the Puerto Ricans taking on the Italians and the Venezuelans taking on Japan. So there's your last 8.
It's just weird. I don't know. I don't know why it's weird. Like it's weird to me that Italy's in this. It just
Right.
makes it seem so much like a not Italy game.
And smoked us for the most part outside of coming back. I was just like,
Yeah. It was like the Italian hockey team in the Olympics. They were the only hockey team in the Olympics that did not have a professional, like an NHL player on their squad.
yeah, that's tough. That's a tough sell, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
tough to do. But man, lots of fun sports going on, lots of positives on that front. So no
Yeah.
complaints there.
Beautiful weather, beautiful sports.
Beautiful
It's
weather, beautiful
that
sports.
time.
Now,
It's that time of the year.
you mentioned you ran up to Waco and you wanted to go try out some food. So let's hear
Oh,
about that.
yeah. So I decided I was just gonna hop up to Waco, which is like the most. I hate that drive, dude. Like
Me
the
too.
drive to Waco is so depressing because then like you get to Waco and you're like, I'm in Waco. Great.
Well, it's like Calvert till you get to about Reagan. It's a drag. It's a
Yeah,
drag of a
you're
drive.
just like, I mean, you could like, you can turn the radio off and just like stare. You know?
About the only thing worth looking at on that entire drive is the Aggie barn.
Yeah, we stopped and grabbed a picture on the way back.
I mean,
But
you're going past Reagan, you got to do it.
yeah,
But
yeah. So yeah, I went to Hellberg Barbecue up in Waco because if any of y'all are on Instagram, and I'm sure you are, there's been a couple videos have gone viral about this brisket smash burger at Hellberg Barbecue. And so I looked it up and they were open on a Thursday. I'm like, if it's not Friday or Saturday, maybe the lines won't be as bad. And it was just kind of a regular lunch crowd, in and out flow. Went up there, got the brisket smash burger, got the street corn, got the cowboy beans, got some turkey, uh, some brisket mac and cheese balls, like they're deep fried.
mm,
Uh, yeah. Oh, and their fries are, they fry them in beef tallow.
I
The
got to.
fries 10 out of 10 on the fries.
Yeah.
Street corn was fantastic. Beans are kind of beans. I mean, unless you really put a ton of effort into it, beans are just kind of beans. I mean, they had some spice in it, had some sliced up sausage, which was nice. The turkey, caught me a little off guard. It's pesto stuffed and then smoked.
Interesting.
And like pesto and barbecue don't, it doesn't, I don't feel like it goes together. I mean, it was good. I mean, it was really good. It was just really unique because I didn't, and it didn't say that it was pesto stuffed.
Right.
It came out, and I'm like, I wonder what the seasoning is. I mean, I've made pesto sauce, but I've never stuck it in something to smoke it.
Hmm.
And so it was really unique. Good, really good sauce. But the brisket smash burger was as advertised. It was pretty stinking fantastic. So I think that place is a top 50 joint in Texas. I didn't get the brisket or pork ribs or anything. I didn't want to go spend $200 on barbecue that I was going to bring home, basically.
Fair enough.
But yeah, if you're in the Waco area, highly advise going by and getting a brisket smash burger, get the fries, get the mac and cheese balls.
If you are local to Bryan College Station, I have a new spot for you
Hmm.
that you desperately need to check out. It's a burger place. So if you've been to Nick the Greek,
Oh yeah,
okay. So the same guy that had Nick the Greek, he had 2 locations.
right.
Okay. The second location that was up by the cigar lounge has been rebranded. It is now strictly a burger joint called the Patty Daddy.
Really?
Okay. Potato bun, smash burgers, beef tallow fries, the whole shebang. And you can get the burger. I got a double smash with fries and a drink, $11.
Holy cow! The brisket smash burger by itself was 14.
I'm about to say, you can get everything for $11 right here on University Drive, right next to the cigar lounge. If you are a local to Bryan College Station, I've been in there a couple of times now. It is amazing. The staff's great. And it's there's hardly anybody there because nobody knows about it. Go. Please
Yeah,
go support that business. It's very good.
I'm in. There's a sandwich joint over there too, isn't there?
It used to be Caprati's. Yeah, that was
They're not making it?
a franchise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
I gotta be honest. I ate there once, and I was like, I could eat here again.
fair enough. Well,
But like the location of it is, like you said, like that's a tough a little business center right there.
Well, yeah, I mean, unless you like you're intentionally like if you're needing to go to Mamaka, if you're one of the college girls and you want to go to Mamaka and get your bowl, that's great. If you're a cigar lounge guy like me, that's where you go because that's where the lounge is at. But
Or
we
if you want to
just,
buy Benjamin Knox paintings.
or if you want to buy Benjamin Knox paintings, or if you want to get a suit, or JWR, those are all great spots. But right there at the end of that strip, that's now the Patty Daddy. Go there, get a burger. If I'm going to be over there, I'm going to go get a burger because it's just that good and it's just not very expensive. And the guy brought me one to test out at the lounge for free one day. I took one bite and I was like, okay, I'm sold.
I'll have to, yeah, I have to check that place out. There's also a new place over there by KFC on Texas Avenue, back where 410 used to be.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's called Frice.
Frice.
It looks fantastic. I'm gonna go and try it. From what I've heard, it's not cheap, but their portions are massive.
Frice Chinese restaurant.
Yes,
Mmm.
that is also on my list of places to go.
Looks really good. Cool. I have to check that one out. Very cool. All
Yeah,
right. Now,
Hubbard Barbecue, Waco. If you're around there, get you a brisket smash burger. It is
right.
real nice, Clark.
Oh, yeah. So let's go ahead and take a quick little peek because you had mentioned we wanted to look at some numbers on the album, right? So Comancheria is out everywhere.
Yes.
We have increased our monthly listener count by about 15,000 since the release day, which is great. Great start. We have 6 of our top 10 songs on Spotify currently being streamed from that record. 3 of which have been out for a minute. So the Burnout, Need Your Love. Actually, Rope the Moon's not even in there. So everything else is just newer songs that are getting streamed. The top streamer right now is Hold Us Back, which I think is fair because it's got kind of a slower Texas country feel to it, but it does have some good energy behind it in that chorus. Hard Times naturally getting a lot of streams. It's the first song on the record. Comancheria is getting a lot of streams, as is Try and Love Me. All those songs are doing pretty well so far. All over 10,000 streams a piece in a week, which I'm not going to complain about ever.
So yeah, it's been a week. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been almost a week. Yeah, it'll be a week recording numbers as of Saturday, so we'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, I mean, a bunch of songs have been doing pretty decent. Just expecting, we'll see how they continue to get some movement. Maybe some radio pickup, maybe some album, or maybe some people put us on playlists, whatever it needs to be. We'll just keep an eye on it. But so far, we're pretty happy with the release. The shows we played last week went really well.
Good.
Up in Stephenville and Lubbock, had a lot of good reception for the new music. And we get to take our new music on a road show here, heading up to Kearney, Nebraska this weekend before we turn around and play in Shamrock, Texas with Logan Ryan Band. We're going to be up there playing for their big St. Patrick's Day festival that they're doing. So should be a blast and a half. I've been telling Carson, and we never got it done, and I'm so irritated. There was a song I wanted to cover. I wanted to do an Irish tune, but it's a Texas country Irish tune, which basically gives you 3 options. You either get, I'm Wearing Black, which is Granger Smith, perfectly fine song. Nothing wrong with it. 7 Nights in Ireland, or 7 Nights in Ire from Douglas Kelly, the classic. But my personal favorite, I wanted to do John O'Reilly, Charlie Robinson.
Oh yeah, with Charlie. I was going to say Charlie's got to be on that list.
That's the one for me. If I was going to cover that one, yeah. My name is John O'Reilly, and my father worked the fields. Come on. It's a banger.
It's a good one. Okay, I have a quick question since you brought up St. Patty's Day.
Sure.
I have seen this, and I'm not sure if it's a growing trend or it's just where I'm going on my daily basis. But I have seen, and more in one place, yard inflatables for St. Patrick's Day.
There's yard inflatables for everything now.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs down. Okay.
Here's the deal. Yard inflatables, Christmas,
That's
Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween works.
I think those are about the only 2.
When
Because
you start putting out Valentine's inflatables, like where does it end?
in my neighborhood, I have seen turkeys, I have seen cupids, I have seen leprechauns, I have seen eagles on the 4th of July, which You know what? Fair enough. Because
Give it a pass on that one.
That's it. I will give you a pass on that because USA. But everything else, I don't need an inflatable George Washington on my porch for President's Day.
Right. And you look, you got like door hangers or stuff like that. Like it's man, inflatables, bro. Like where are we as a society? What's happening?
Well, it's just, I don't know. Some people just they feel the need. Well, like what my parents did, and I love this. So they have a season tree that would sit in the front of the house. It's like a Christmas tree, just like a smaller Christmas tree, but they would dress it up for various times of the year, holidays, right? So right after Christmas, it just kind of becomes a kind of general wintry deal. Then they started throwing some Valentine's stuff on there around about February. Then they start putting the St. Patrick's stuff on there about when, and then it's kind of getting into springy. So there's some flowers and stuff on the tree, right? It's like you adjust it for the seasons inside your own house. Fine.
That part was the important part. Inside
the house.
Yes. Freaking inflatables, whatever, man.
I don't need all that outside. I mean, like, we
I
get it. It's St. Patrick's Day. You know what? You know how you celebrate St. Patrick's Day? Wear green, drink Guinness, and I swear to God, if I catch you drinking a green beer, get out. If it's St. Patrick's Day, you better be drinking Guinness, sir.
Nah, I don't hardline on that.
I will. Because there is no, I mean, literally, the green beer is just like, it's a novelty. It is a novelty.
Right. One day a year.
One day a year. Well, then it
green beer that they discount.
I will drink Guinness every day of the year because it's just a darn good beer.
Well, yeah, but not everybody likes stouts. So,
well, everybody needs to buck up and start drinking stouts because they are very, very, very good. Anyway,
I'm out.
Be sure to follow us on all of our socials. That's going to be Rob the Slapper. It's like Rob the Slapper on Instagram and X. Be sure to follow Roy May 15 on X, Roy May Jr. on Instagram. Be sure to follow the RedAss podcast. Give us a like, give us a comment, subscribe on YouTube, hit the little bell so you know when this thing pops up in your feed. And yeah, that's all great and good stuff. I appreciate you guys listening in, and I appreciate Roy for giving me Ronnie's number so I can get him up here to start doing some work on my plumbing because my God, we're at that point where I need to get some stuff. Well, the joys of getting married. The wife starts noticing things, and then you start having to be like, okay, yes, ma'am, I'll get this done. Oh, this says I need a licensed plumber to install. I cannot install this myself. I am liable otherwise. Okay, fine. Plumber, get over here. Oh, well, it happens to be a friend of ours.
In my line of work,
yes,
I know a lot of handymen and GCs and all that good stuff. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and that's fine. And yeah, if I can pick up some stuff from him on that front, that's great because really I haven't had to worry about it too much. It's been weather's nice. We finally got out of the rain. Do want to say a quick prayer for our friends up north in Illinois and Michigan. They got run over by some tornadoes over the past several days.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, what was it? Kankakee, I think it was the name of the town just south of Chicago.
Wow.
I mean, they got bulldozed by one. It was horrible. And then there was one up in Michigan I was keeping an eye on that, I mean, its full house got sucked off of its foundation. You can see it on video. It just gets.
That's not normally the state you think of tornadoes.
Well, and it's certainly the wrong time of year. It's March. I mean, typically you start seeing tornado activity heavily in the South. So, around about this time of year. So Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, you don't really see it all that far north. So, it's been a weird weather pattern this year because I think they're calling for some kind of like super El Nino or something. I don't even know what all that's going to entail. I'm just here keeping an eye on everything, watching everybody complain that, oh, it's global warming. It's this, that. It's like, it's weather patterns, people. You just got to go with what's going on in the Pacific. It dictates everything that happens here. So anyway, fun stuff. I am Rob White. This is Roy May. We're the RedAss podcast. Take care. Beat the hell out of Oklahoma 4 times. Beat the hell out of LSU. And let's just have ourselves a great little week. Y'all be safe out there. Gig 'em. We'll see you next time.
Gig 'em.